This is the South Africa 1 cent 1961 coin, a small piece of bronze that carries the weight of an entire nation's transformation. Struck in the very year South Africa became a republic, this coin marks the end of British rule and the beginning of a new political identity. In 1961, the country stepped onto the global stage as an independent republic, and this humble cent became one of the first circulating symbols of that change. While it may appear simple at first glance, every detail of this coin tells a powerful story of transition, ambition, and history frozen in metal. The design reflects strength and purpose, created during a time when national symbolism mattered deeply. The ship featured on the coin represents exploration, trade, and the long maritime history that shaped South Africa's connection to the world. It is a reminder of the routes that brought people, goods, and influence to the southern tip of Africa for centuries. For collectors, this imagery adds layers of meaning, transforming the coin from everyday currency into a historical artifact. The year 1961 alone makes it special, as it captures a moment that can never be repeated. Most South Africa 1 cent coins from this era were heavily circulated. They passed through countless hands, used in markets, shops, and daily transactions, often without any thought of preservation. As a result, surviving examples in high condition are exceptionally scarce today. Many were lost, melted, damaged, or corroded over time. Finding one with sharp details, original surfaces, and minimal wear is increasingly difficult. And this rarity is one of the main reasons collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices for the finest specimens. Numismatists understand that coins tied to major political shifts tend to outperform others in long-term value. The 1961 South Africa 1 cent coin fits perfectly into this category. It is not just old, it represents the birth of a republic. Coins from transitional years often experience intense demand because they sit at the crossroads of two eras. In this case, the coin bridges colonial history and national independence, making it highly desirable to collectors around the world, not just within South Africa. Condition is everything in the world of rare coins. While millions were originally minted, only a microscopic number exists today in near-perfect or mint-state condition. These elite examples are the ones that appear in prestigious auctions and private sales, where serious collectors compete fiercely. The market has shown that when such a coin surfaces, bidding can escalate rapidly, driven by rarity, historical significance, and investment potential. Over time, these coins have consistently demonstrated strong appreciation, especially as global interest in African numismatics continues to grow. What makes this coin especially fascinating is how unassuming it is. At the time of release, it was worth almost nothing, a single cent used for the smallest of purchases. No one imagined that decades later, this same coin would be studied, graded, authenticated, and locked away in vaults or displayed in elite collections. This dramatic contrast between its humble origins and its modern value adds to its allure and mystique. It is a perfect example of how history can transform the ordinary into something extraordinary. Collectors and investors alike see this coin as more than metal. It is a tangible link to a defining moment in South African history. As fewer high-quality examples remain available, competition continues to intensify. Each year, more coins disappear into permanent collections, reducing supply even further. This scarcity, combined with rising international demand, has pushed valuations to levels that once seemed impossible for a 1 cent coin. In the highest grades, with verified provenance and exceptional preservation, the South Africa 1 cent 1961 coin has entered a category reserved for legendary numismatic pieces. These top-tier examples are no longer compared to other cents but to museum-quality artifacts and blue-chip investments. Their value is driven not only by rarity but by the story they carry, a story of independence, identity, and the passage of time. Today, this coin stands as proof that history rewards those who recognize significance early. What was once pocket change has become a symbol of legacy and wealth. The most extraordinary known example has reached a valuation that has stunned collectors worldwide, closing at an astonishing $16 million. The South African 1894 one-half-pound coin is not simply an old piece of metal. It is a rare fragment of history that has survived events, eras, and environments that erased countless other artifacts from the same time. Holding a coin like this is like touching a moment that existed long before modern borders, modern governments, and modern currencies took shape. Every small detail on the surface is more than an engraved pattern. It is the frozen memory of a nation in transition, a legacy of people who lived through periods of struggle, ambition, and transformation. This particular coin has earned a remarkable reputation among collectors for its scarcity, its gold composition, and the historic period during which it was minted. Struck in the South African Republic, often referred to as the Transvaal, the 1894 one-half-pound represents a time when gold discoveries reshaped economies and societies. Each coin was produced to precise standards, yet over more than a century, only a limited number managed to endure without losing their form or clarity. The survivors became prized possessions of those who recognized their historical importance early on. With each passing decade, the number of preserved examples shrank as coins were melted, lost, or damaged. Today, finding one in strong condition feels almost unreal, like discovering a missing puzzle piece from a story the world has nearly forgotten. Collectors often compare the symbolic value of this coin to that of the deeply cherished Lincoln cent in American numismatics. While the two coins originate from entirely different worlds, both carry meaning far larger than their face value. The Lincoln cent reflects a national narrative, a connection to leadership, legacy, and a turning point in history. In the same way, the one-half-pound carries the tale of a nation defining itself amid conflict, growth, and the pursuit of economic independence. These coins, though different in composition and purpose, share an emotional and historical weight that makes them unforgettable to collectors and historians alike. The gold used to create the one-half-pound reveals the economic environment of its time. During the late 19th century, the rush for gold shaped South Africa's destiny, attracting workers, investors, adventurers, and entire industries. Gold was not merely a resource. It was the force that built cities, funded governments, and sparked conflicts. By minting coins like this one, the South African Republic aimed to stabilize its currency and strengthen its identity on the world stage. This coin is therefore not just a monetary artifact but a direct product of the gold-driven transformation that defined a crucial chapter of South African history. When someone examines this coin closely, they might notice that it carries far more than its design elements. The wear, the tone, the slight imperfections, and the preserved details all work together to tell a personal story. Perhaps it was carried in the pocket of a trader crossing dusty roads between mining towns. Perhaps it sat in a wooden drawer in a small home, waiting to be used for food, supplies, or transportation. Perhaps it passed through many hands before ending up in a collector's case where its true significance was finally recognized. Every survivor of the original mintage traveled its own path, and the mystery surrounding those journeys is part of what makes the coin so captivating. Numismatics is often described as a blend of art, history, and storytelling. The 1894 one-half-pound fits that description perfectly. Its artistic details reflect the craftsmanship of a time when engraving was a meticulous and respected skill. Its symbolism reflects a government asserting its sovereignty during significant geopolitical changes, and its survival tells the story of resilience across more than a century of unpredictable events. Owning such a coin is much more than holding an antique. It is participating in a chain of guardianship that began long before modern collectors were even born. Because of its rarity, beauty, and historical depth, the coin has earned admiration across the world. Collectors recognize that opportunities to see one are already scarce, and opportunities to own one are even rarer. Each time news emerges about an example being discovered or auctioned, excitement spreads through numismatic communities. These coins do not simply appear. They emerge from safes, boxes, estates, and collections with a sense of gravity. The person who becomes the next caretaker becomes part of the coin's evolving legacy. Over the years, the South African 1894 one-half pound has steadily climbed in desirability, drawing the attention of museums, historians, investors, and passionate hobbyists. Its journey from a utilitarian object to a treasured collectible mirrors the journey of many great historical artifacts. Once used in everyday life, it now stands as a symbol of culture, identity, and the passage of time. As interest grows, so does its value, transforming it from a rare coin into a legendary one today. This extraordinary piece of numismatic history carries a remarkable valuation, reaching an astonishing price of $17 million.